It's Maryann Okon. In case you're just joining, the program is Hard Facts. The station is 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's time for Community U Report, and on today's Community U Report, we're going to be talking about how we want our story to be told. Oh my God! Well, the Senate is taking it upon themselves to, make this about Senator Godswill Akpabio, the Senate President, as opposed to the people who these senators are representing. But we want our stories to be told differently. Well, I've got the boss of Wikimedia here in the studio because we want to talk about promoting Nigeria's online visibility, how we want the world to see us, perceive us, and take us maybe a bit more seriously than ever. He is the president of Wikimedia Foundation, Mr. Olaniyan Olushola, joins us here in the studio. It's so good to have you join us in the studio. Have you ever been to Nigeria Info ever?
Come to Nigeria Info.
Oh, really? Here in
Lagos. I think the first time was done by Femi Obondaniel.
Ah, lovely.
I'm not sure.
He's still here. He's my GM. Yes, he's still here.
He's a wonderful guy.
Yeah, it's good to have you join us in the studio. And I know that you've seen all the drama that's been playing out, but you're not a politician, so we're not going to bring you into the politics of it all. But then, of course, I'm one of those people who is very concerned about the trajectory, the stories, how we want to speak for Nigeria, how we want Nigerians to be spoken for. And that's also about representation. It's about positioning. It's about how we're perceived online. And that's why you're here in the studio. But let me just give my guest a little bit of background about Wikimedia for those who do not know. He will tell us the difference between Wikimedia and Wikipedia, because I know a lot of people are saying Wikimedia, Wikimedia. We're going to talk about it. Well, Wikimedia Nigeria Foundation is working on many projects, for those of you who do not know, to promote visibility of Nigeria on the internet. And some of those projects are in the area of preserving our indigenous stories and knowledge. It's demystifying Nigerian stories on the internet. Also, it promotes inclusion of Nigerian women on the internet. And what better time to talk about it when we are in the Women's History Month? Ms. Olaniyan, let's start by giving my audience an understanding of the difference between Wikipedia and Wikimedia.
Okay. Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name again is Olaniyan Olushola. People can call me Shola. Well, right from when we started this project in Nigeria, you could say when we talk to people that 9 out of every 10 Nigerians don't know the difference between Wikimedia and Wikipedia. Because Wikimedia is the foundation that is in charge of Wikipedia. Wikipedia is the product, and it is the world's most referenced online encyclopedia.
I see.
With over 4.5 billion views, which is more than 25% of the world population.
Wow. That's good. That's good. And so Wikimedia obviously powers Wikipedia. You're the lifeline between Wikipedia.
Yeah.
How does Wikimedia Foundation Nigeria benefit Nigerians? Because you've already buttered my bread by saying, or tickled my fancy by saying that you want to change the narrative of Nigerians online. Before you even do that, what do you think people think of us as Nigerians? Well, the moment you say you're Nigerian, or they see a twit with that Nigerian flag on it.
I've actually been to many countries across the globe, attending conferences where we have the open knowledge advocates across the globe coming together to speak about how we want the open knowledge to be seen in the nearest future. And especially when people talk about Nigeria, I can tell you for free, when people say we are the giant of Africa, they don't mean it, sincerely.
What do you mean they don't mean it?
Yeah, because no, when we say we are the giant of Africa, a lot of people don't take us serious because very little you could read about Nigerians. A very good instance, if you open Nigerian's page on English Wikipedia and the US page on English Wikipedia, you could see. And knowing fully well that we are now in an information stage, people don't really need to know you in person for them to know who you are. All they need to know is to go to your website to read about you.
They just Google you.
And when you get to our page, it is quite appalling. Nigerian government is doing quite a lot, especially in Africa. But
there's no presence, and that's our fault, obviously.
It is our fault. Wikipedia, when it was started in 2001 by Jimmy Wells, he was actually looking for a platform where the word knowledge could be put in a platform and without any restriction to it.
I mean, he was trying to obviously, do the encyclopedia, because when I was a little girl, we had encyclopedias, Britannica, they're all just there. And then now we have Wikipedia online. So he was trying to replicate that, but on a larger scale.
Yeah. But did you know what happens? It is an encyclopedia that is there for everyone to show your interest. The Europeans or the non-Africans, they've been so wise in their making to have built their own world online while we're still struggling. So in the information age, people have already left the heads and they have now go into the internet. But we are still struggling. So it's difficult for people to really understand who we are.
But can we not tie that also to how slow our development is? And I'm not going to say that we have no development. I'm just saying how slow, the pace at which it is.
Let me bust your bubble. When we started in 2015, some of our local languages have already been in existence on English on Wikipedia. So I think there are quite a lot of things I need to have mentioned before we delve into this, so that people will have a better perspective of this narrative. So we all know that Wikipedia is an online encyclopedia. It is the most referenced online encyclopedia. And it is such that if you are on the internet and you understand the policies, you can contribute to it. When we started, if you ask people, what is Wikipedia? People will tell you it's a search engine. It is actually not a search engine.
It's not. No,
it is an encyclopedia where you and I, once you understand how it works, you can go there to contribute to it. So the whole world is building a knowledge base and domesticating those knowledge. So if you don't domesticate your own knowledge, it is not the concern of the Europeans.
So it's the information that people have, that's what they're going to use.
Now, because they could see that Africans, especially Nigerians, are not doing that, they now begin to develop bold to begin to write our story for us. So when we started, part of the first combat fight that we were doing is to begin to fight the bolt. Bolt will just describe a 10 statement in just one word, and that they tell you that is Nigeria. So we now begin to rewrite the bold, ensure that the bold beginning to have the human face telling our story by itself.
How are we supposed to do that? Because it's one thing to say, oh, we need to start telling our own stories, we need to do this and that. But for example, I'll use myself. If I were to be working for example, the BBC or Euronews, I'm going to have an editor who's a white person in, let's say, in Geneva. No matter how I tell that story, they're still going to put a twist to it because they call it house style. So how do we change that narrative? Where do we even begin? And that's where Wikimedia comes in.
So there are three key principles that Wikipedia is sitting on. The first principle is that what we look at no original research, because we're trying to build a knowledge platform that is so liberal that everyone can go in to contribute to. There must also be check and balances. So the first check and balance is with all our editors are not expected to put any material based on their own idea, experiences, knowledge. However, whatever you're going to put on Wikipedia must be such that must have been published in reliable and verifiable sources. It must be cited. Now, if, for example, if I'm going to write about 99.3 on Wikipedia, 99.3, no matter how popular it might be in Nigeria, if it has not been reported
or cited
on reliable sources, you can find its way onto Wikipedia.
Well, I can tell you that you can take it to the bank. That we're cited everywhere. Go Google us.
Yes. Now that then for the aspect of authentication, we mentioned reliable sources. So if someone from the Nigerian Info created a blog and say, "Oh, it's actually not going to work for us because we're looking for reliable source." And as from that, we also want information that could be verified. So no matter what you think about yourself or you are writing about, it must be such that could be verified. So when your information or content is not verifiable, then it can also not have a place on Wiki. Then the last but not the least is what we call the neutral point of view. For journalists, I know you guys know quite a lot about it. So if you are contributing to Wikipedia, it must be such in a way that it must be fairly, proportionately, and the editorial projection must be non-biased. And every single views in that content must be what? Must be projected without unnecessarily giving undue advantage to any views. For example, if I'm writing about you, if there's any controversy about you, I must also report it. So if it is not reported, if I'm just writing about positive things about you, it means that is not balanced. So Wikipedia expects those three key policies.
So all your controversies, your scandals, everything needs to be reported.
It must be reported on reliable sources, not just reported.
I've not got scandals, but I'm not on Wikipedia yet.
You don't need to get scandal.
No, I'm just messing with you. I'm just saying. I've got good things that I've said and I've got bad things that I've said, but nothing scandalous yet.
If I'm going to pick up the article to write about you, I must put most of those things there, especially reported by noble views. That is reliable sources.
Interesting. So, but then for a country like Nigeria that's been around for decades and one of the most populous black nation, I'd presume that would have more information with pre-colonialism, colonialism, post-colonialism, democracy, and the list goes on. What do you think the major challenges that that's made us as I don't want to use inconsequential. That's made us not up to par with other countries on Wikipedia?
Okay, so when someone came here, I'm using myself and say I have a platform that is the most referenced platform in the world. The first thing that you're going to have a noble, a reasonable person is, if you really want to be noble, you must be well projected, strategically protected on that platform. Look at it. Recently, we observed that indigenous languages in Nigeria are not even covered at all. So, and many of them are going to extinction. So we begin to document them. These are the type of partnership that will expect the Ministry of Tourism, Culture to partner with us because they are the custodians. Even though they might not have the content, but actually they know the people who are the custodians of this. But we have to be doing it on our own.
So you're telling me, because when I graduated from my first degree, one of my major projects was to write about an almost extinct language from my culture.
Wow.
And I had to, it cost me a lot. I had to buy drinks and go to chiefs that were almost, they had one leg here, one leg there, very old people, chiefs of the Ekpe culture, to talk about this language that was almost extinct. And what I did was I created some sort of a re-engineered dictionary with a word glossary that had all the words. And then put it side by side with what we were speaking in today's, Nigeria. Yeah. So could Wikimedia be sponsoring those kinds of researches because you want to build what we have on the Nigerian page? Is that something that you're open to?
Actually, that is what we're doing, but it's a project that is multifaceted. What we're doing at the moment is to have an audiovisual documentation of this. So you have an indigenous speaker using Ishola language to tell the story. and we document it.
Lovely.
Do you know, at the moment, the whole world says, United Nations says we have over 523 indigenous language. I could tell you for free that we might even have more than
We
that.
have more, actually.
Because it is what they said.
Yeah.
Someone just sat at one place and said, we have over 523. At the end of this project, we're going to tell the world that perhaps we have the most diverse country in the world. But if we don't have resources to do this,
To back
can we
it
tell
up,
the story?
yes,
But
yes.
the Wikimedia Foundation is trying, but where's our government? Before we started, in 2017, I was talking about, I mentioned the demystification. There's a project we call the Wikiloves Monument. The Wikiloves Monument is an annual photographic contest by the Wikimedians to put the pictures of their monuments and important places, quality photos, on the internet.
How do I not know about this?
I don't know, it's just because, well. But do you know that when we started in 2017, it was that same year, Sweden was renouncing their participation in that project. Why? They said they've been able to cover everything, and then we don't have anything on it. And the one we have,
No.
then we don't.
No.
But when so do you know? And that then we saw a story where someone was using Idore A as Olumo rock. So these are when people don't take us serious, it is not.
It's not their fault. It's our fault. Because I can, off the top of my head, think of so many monuments. The monoliths in the northern part of Cross River are something that, I mean, they're supposed to be, how do they call them? They're supposed to be something recognized by the United Nations.
So,
how do we not have that on Wikipedia?
Yes, where we started, we now begin to collate those things. And you know why I brought this to the discussion is a country was so strategic and they understand where they're going, and they've been able to perfect their own house. Do you know what is going on in Europe right now? There's an organization called Europeana. The Europeana, they are heritage and culture organizations that cut across all the European countries. Do you know what they're doing? All these quality photos about their monument, they are using it to form a 3D database. You don't need to go to all the places in Europe to know the story about those things. You sit down in the comfort of your home to tour all these lovely places. So when you feel like you want to go on holiday to any of this, you have this story. You just travel. It is not happening in Africa. We don't even have it documented yet in Nigeria before we can now start talking about someone going there. But, you know, it's a lot.
Oh, wow. This is a clarion call to us Nigerians. Whether you're from Ekiti with your hot springs or you're from Obandiku where you have the Obudu Cattle Ranch, this is a clarion call. But we still have Mr. Olaniyan in the studio with us. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're still talking about telling our own stories the Nigerian way.
Introducing the essence of true authenticity in fragrance. Wazobia Perfume, the correct scent. A unique blend that captivates the authentic spirit of Nigeria, now available in both perfume and body spray. Designed for everyone, yes, you heard it right. Wazobia is a unisex fragrance perfect for both men and women. Its rich and versatile aroma is a statement of inclusivity and unity. Unleash your confidence with every spray. Are you a retailer or do you love to buy in bulk? We've got you covered across Nigeria. Wazobia Perfume comes in cartons of 24 bottles and the body spray is available in cartons of 48. Interested in making Wazobia Perfume a part of your collection or store? For carton purchases, contact us at email contact@wazobiacosmetics.ng. That is in capital letters, contact@wazobiacosmetics.ng, or call us on 0809-597-5981. 0809-597-5981. Our team is ready to assist you with your orders. Wazobia Perfume, the correct scent. Your new signature fragrance is just a call or a click away. Authentic, unisex, confidence. Wazobia.
This is an infomercial.
Credible journalism, bridging the gap between people and those in authority. With Hard Facts, you are sure to get only the facts.
Tune in to Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
What time is it? Welcome to May Brand. Our mission is to be the number one distributor of our brands within Nigeria and West Africa at large. We are the licensed store in Nigeria to carry Fossil, Michael Kors, Imperial Money, Amani Exchange, Kagen, Diesel, and more. We deal in luxurious items such as watches, wallets, bags, and accessories. Visit us today.
In Nigeria, the weather can change in an instant, just like life itself. Even when you are caught in a heavy downpour or harmattan has left your skin dry, there's one thing that never changes: the restoring power of Vaseline Petroleum Jelly. Because we all know when harmattan strikes, if you are not protecting your skin, it cracks. So do your lips, and no one wants that. So, use Vaseline Petroleum Jelly to keep your skin healthy, smooth, moisturized, and protected all day long, so you can embrace every season with confidence.
Ramadan, the holy month, is here. A time for spiritual reflection, a period of self-improvement, an opportunity for complete devotion and worship. Nigeria Info brings you The Light, a daily program that features teachings of Islam, answers to questions about certain practices in the religion, and loads of giveaways. The Light, sponsored by Lotus Bank and Maggie on Nigeria Info, comes up daily at 4 a.m. in the month of Ramadan. For sponsorship and gift donation, please call 0805 581 5844. That is 0805 581 5844. Or send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. The Light, brought to you by Lotus Bank and Maggie. Ramadan Mubarak.
You define better odd. I be you one play cost over 1.5. I be you one bet. Say both seem no go score at all. Oh yeah, we get better payout. No worry, we there for you. Our odd chabra out. In all the feel and show. Oh lo lo, we there for you. Oh, we there for you. You see for bet Baba, feel we money. Bet Baba, cash out today easy. Oh bet Baba, we get online games for you to play. Oh God, all I want. Yeah, we get better bonus. Money me no dano. Yeah, na bet Baba day so. Cash out no sharp. Oh darling, no. Welcome to Bet Baba.
Register now on betbaba.ng. Not for people under 18.
Afternoon wakis. Guys, I dey go topo. I beg you, add more stew, madam. This food sweet. My chest.
Shey chest dey pepper you? Abi food no gree digest for your belle? Make you try Jested. Na im I dey advise people make dem dey take for the past 26 years. Jested na brand of aluminium and magnesium hydroxide and simeticone. Jested dey for liquid and tablet. Na im I dey use when chest dey pepper me and food no gree digest for belle.
Jested don dey for new pack now. If after 3 days you never better, go see doctor. Make you read the paper wey dey inside.
Hey! Dear Glow subscribers, are you aware of the new directive from the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC)? You could lose your mobile number just like that.
Unless you link your Glow SIM with your NIN immediately, your mobile number will be gone.
Don't let this happen to you. Act now and save your precious mobile number.
Just dial *996# to check your NIN linking status. Follow the steps and visit any of our Glow outlets or SIM registration agents close to you. You could also visit the NIMC office close to you to get your NIN registration done.
Make sure your number is safe and secure. Don't delay. Do it today. Remember, SIM registration is free.
Glow Unlimited.
Anywhere Clara enter like this, people must give am compliment.
Clara. This your sense makes sense so.
Now because I dey use Wazobia.
Anywhere Johnny enter sef, people must comot cap for am.
Johnny. As you enter like this, everywhere just begin smell nice. Which kind of perfume you dey use?
Now Wazobia perfume.
Yes, sir. Wazobia na the correct scent. We get quality. It dey last long and it dey give man and woman confidence any day, anywhere.
For authentic scents wey dey indigenous, make you choose Wazobia.
It dey available in perfume and body spray.
You fit get am for stores, supermarkets and open markets.
Remember, no be only how you take dress, na also how you take smell.
Wazobia, correct scent for correct people.
The question is not why South Africa. The real question is how you South Africa. How you'll come across 1,000 tongues that all speak in one voice. Welcome. How you can wake up with one foot firmly planted in the Indian Ocean and the other in the Atlantic Ocean. How diamonds and couture are but a stone's throw away from the safari. How your tongue will visit 1 million destinations on one plate. How your feet will sway in djembe, your torso in amapiano, and your mind in bliss. How crystal clear rivers flow in the day, and crystal flows in the night. Whoa. We know this because this is how we South Africa every single day. And this is why we invite you to South Africa with us.
Own your moments in South Africa this Easter holiday. Explore new holiday deals at southafrica.net. Come journey with us.
As a mom preparing for a big family party, what's the right soup that goes well with Golden Penny Semovita? A, Eforiru. B, Mian Taushe. C, Oha. D, all of the above.
All of the above.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Correct.
Yes, Golden Penny Semovita is my soup's first choice. Made with premium wheat and enriched with vitamins. It's the right combo for Nigerian soups. Golden Penny Semovita, my soup's first choice.
It's almost time for school. Oh, not that kind of school. I'm talking about the kind that determines what the next phase of your life will be, where you will spend the next 4 years soaking in knowledge with young and ambitious minds who take fearless steps to become the next generation of African leaders. A school where state-of-the-art facilities help shape your future. A school where the lessons you learn echo beyond the walls of a classroom. So when it's time to write that life-changing examination, be sure to choose a university that sets you on the path to a secure future. Wigwe University, where the fearless make history.
Now open for admissions into the 2024-2025 session. Visit www.wigweuniversity.edu.ng for more information now.
Imagine the joy of surprising your loved ones with their names in lights, sharing heartfelt messages on towering billboards that catches the eyes and warms the hearts of everyone who passes by. For as low as 30,000 naira, you can celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, events, and promote your brand on our digital billboards. To book your slot, call 0812-088-9773 or visit www.mysogi.com.ng. Make your moments larger than life with MySogi, the smart ads company.
In Nigeria, the weather can change in an instant, just like life itself. Even when you are caught in a heavy downpour or harmattan has left your skin dry, there's one thing that never changes: the restoring power of Vaseline Petroleum Jelly. Because we all know when harmattan strikes, if you are not protecting your skin, it cracks. So do your lips, and no one wants that. So use Vaseline Petroleum Jelly to keep your skin healthy, smooth, moisturized and protected all day long, so you can embrace every season with confidence.
Attention, Airtel customers. If your line has been blocked, then this is for you. Head to the nearest Airtel shop with your NIN. Our friendly staff will help you get your line back up and running. Don't let a blocked line keep you out of touch.
Airtel, a reason to imagine. Me, Saru, the one they call a Nicolapo. How can my reward be to commit evil? Why? Why should I be punished for doing good? No. There must be another way. There must be.
Find out what Saru will do in Anikulapo, Rise of the Spectre. Now on Netflix with plans from as low as 1,600 naira.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Fact. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories, you know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, let's talk. It's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info. And today on Community Review Report, we're talking about immortalizing our stories, telling it from our own perspective, from the most realistic perspectives. Because you see, if you don't tell your stories, someone else will tell it but put a spin on it. And then you now say, why did you say that's about us? But were you first to tell the story? And this is why we have my guest in the studio who's here to tell us about why Nigerian stories need to be amplified online. And where will you find it? On Wikipedia. Well, before we went on that break, we were talking about some things that, come to us as a surprise, like Nigeria, a whole Nigeria. And we have bragging rights too. But our bragging rights have been impeded because we don't have stories and facts to, back up all of these bragging rights that we have. And then you did talk about something about governments, supporting you or backing you on making these, going on this journey and creating this kind of impact that you wanted, you want to have on the Nigerian page or on the Nigerian front of Wikimedia or Wikipedia. Now, how many governments have you reached out to so far?
I think at the moment we are talking with the Lagos State Ministry of Tourism and Culture. Mm-hmm. What we're planning to do is to identify all the tourist site attraction points in Lagos, mm-hmm. and capture all the story in a barcode from Wikipedia. So each of these tourist sites that are notable, when I say notable, as I mentioned earlier, it must be so popular that reliable sources must have captured them. So if they're not captured, then so Wikipedia is not
important.
So now, when we'll identify those notable places, we want to capture them on a QR code. Okay. Wikipedia itself has a QR code. So when you go to those sites, you don't need any a tour guide to tell the story. You just scan it and you read the story.
And everything just comes
Our
up.
community will help to improve them. So you can imagine where you have probably 80 tourist sites in Lagos, and all of them are well improved, because the problem is
the stories are updated.
A lot of people visit some of the stories we have about Nigeria, just see 2 lines. Photos, no photos. So we want to make sure that we update this, and then our story is written by ourselves.
By us. I'll tell you what. I was at the source of the Nile, and the source of the Nile is in Uganda. You'll be shocked. It's there. There's all the information is written on that plaque. A lot of information. And all the countries that signed the treaty and the pact, all the countries that share in the Nile. Don't forget, the Nile flows all the way to Egypt and to several other countries. So going to Uganda, I get to realize that, look, there's a lot that we need to learn about putting our information out there. I mean, we keep saying that, Nigeria, we're big brother, but really, a country like Uganda has 24 hours light, and they're doing amazing things by also documenting their stories. I never knew that the source of the Nile went as far as Uganda.
Yeah.
So and you see, the moment I said it, you nodded because you also know that information is out there. How many people know about the source of this Lagos water? This one here on the bridge.
Bubbles. We were walking at some point with a tour guide working probably with Lagos State government at some point, and we were traveling on the river between, I don't know, but we got to a point. They mentioned the name of that island. You see, they said that was where King Kosoko and one of the king in Lagos had their first meeting to broker, blah, blah. That's the story. And I tried to Google.
You couldn't find it.
I don't even know. We couldn't really find our place.
Wow.
And I keep asking myself, how many of these stories we have been able to put aside? So quite a lot of things you cannot read about Nigeria, about us. And that is what is diminishing us as a nation, as a people. So we need to stand up. Government needs to, because one, there are people within the government agency that are being paid to collate these stories, that they have these documents. We wanted to work with them. Until the two of us collaborate, work together. Many problems we're having is because most of this content are not available.
But whatever happened to our museums and monuments? Because these are the people who are supposed to be the custodians of all that information.
I'm sorry. We have monuments.
You can't say that.
Sorry, we have monuments in Nigeria.
But no museums.
But the question is, how many of these monuments, how many information about these monuments are adequate, appropriate, and complete? Even on Wikipedia, when you read about some of these monuments, maybe just read like 4 to 6 sentences or 2 paragraphs. And in the real sense, there are quality information that we can use to improve them. And there are people that are custodians of this information. We need to start working with them. People need to start publishing them on reliable sources. And we are ready to work with them. But where are they? We can't find them.
I want to ask a question that I guess I'm going to open the phone lines, of course, because Community U Report is about Lagos and Lagosians. As much as we'd like to talk about the rest of the country, I want my Lagosians to get into this conversation. If people were to volunteer to tell these stories, because I have grown, aged uncles and great aunties who have maybe not about Lagos, but I mean, I'm a Lagos Island child. I could also say that I know a little bit about Broad Street and Campbell and all those areas. There should be a story to it.
So
but if people volunteer to tell you these stories, is Wikipedia open to this information?
Let me start by first, this is not a paid advert, but just to really thank the commissioner, the present commissioner for tourism and culture in Lagos State, because she has opened her door for this type of discussion. And we're ready. But you know the bureaucracy in government, we don't even know whether we're going to do it. But in principle, she's ready. And you know the challenge with Wikipedia, you can't just take something and then push it on Wiki. Things needs to go through the process. One, before, if an information could find itself on Wiki, as I earlier said, it must have been written by reliable sources, the people in authority in that area, ensure that it's verifiable, accepted by the people before we can then push.
So that's why I asked again, if people volunteer themselves to, in this case, the state government or the tourism and monuments or museum and monuments to give factual information, will this help? Yes. Will it help with your collaboration with governments?
Let me tell you what this can happen. When I was talking to the commissioner, I said, if we have over 4 billion people visiting Wikipedia on a monthly basis, that's a figure, and we can boost information about a particular state, about their tourist site attraction. Let's say 1 billion let's say 500 million of these people to come and access information about tourist site after they've been properly improved. This can hugely improve the GDP, your earnings in dollars. Because if these people can come and see what they've read, you cannot imagine what this can bring to. And we are shouting about dollars, that we don't have the money. And we just need to focus on a particular area. And this is going to turn around to, wow!
All right, I've got 6 minutes on the clock. I'm going to open up the phone lines. If you have questions for my guest, Olaniyan Olushola, who's the president of Wikimedia Foundation, or Wikimedia Nigeria, I beg your pardon, join the conversation. Are we telling enough of our stories in this part of the world, and why is that? And for those who really know these stories, is there some sort of politicization of these stories? And if we're saying that we don't like that these other people outside of the country are writing our stories in a way that, you know, just only benefits them, why are we not telling our own stories? Lagos, let's talk. 0700 993 993 993. That's 0700 993 993 993. You could join the conversation by calling, if you're a lady, 0201 465 7190. Or you could join the conversation if you're listening from outside of the country and this actually interests you. We're on Skype, Nigeria Info FM, or you can send me a WhatsApp message. Let's talk. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Maryann Okon.
Yes.
It's Emeka from Satellite Town.
Emeka, go ahead.
Yeah, you see, this is a welcome idea. I think we're not telling our own stories enough. We allow others to tell our story, and when they tell it, it is skewed to suit their colonial interest. You know, I recall there was a time Chairman Adichie made a presentation somewhere, and she made reference to issues of this nature where people will allow others to tell our own story and tell it in a way that doesn't suit us. So what the guest in the studio is trying to do is something that we welcome across the board. And it's time for Africans to tell their own story the way it is. Otherwise, like one man used to say, if you don't say I am, nobody will say you are. So we need to tell people who we are in the true African image, not in a way that could be skewed to represent Western interests. Thank you so much.
Emeka, thank you very much for calling. We appreciate it. 0700 993 993 993 on Skype. We're Nigeria Info FM. We would like to hear from you. What stories have you been able to update on Wikipedia so far about certain parts of Nigeria?
I think there are quite a lot of stories that, you know, our community is driven by volunteers. And we've been building that since 2015 that we started. At the moment, we have 6 to 7 universities in Nigeria that's already in partnership with us to train these students on how to use Wikipedia. One man can do all. So we, day by day, improving and increasing capacity of Nigerians, especially during the International Women's Day. We are training women at the moment. We have trained over 1,500 female journalists across Africa from Nigeria.
Lovely.
Yeah. And, you know, as I said, the space is there. If you don't take care of your space, that is your problem.
Someone else might.
And that's why you see the English Wikipedia is the most read, over 6.7 billion.
Yeah.
But let me also boast up. I mentioned when I came, Yoruba Wikipedia at the moment is the most viewed Wikipedia, small Wikipedia, indigenous language Wikipedia, at the, over 25 million.
Wow.
The question is, what is so particular about Yoruba? It is because there are quality information
that has been put up.
Yeah, so
and so all the other languages need to do the same.
Yeah. So if the Nigerian government want a huge turnaround, we are in an information age. See, we just need to begin to lead in telling us. Don't even allow.
Let me quickly take this comment. Hello, welcome to Community U Report.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening. My name is Femi.
All right, Femi, go ahead
I'm
quickly.
calling from Sunwater.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Your guess is, you see, what you are discussing, supposing we are, how would I call it? We are so eager enough. You see that we're supposed to be following this man bumper to bumper because this is really what we spell Nigeria. Our own culture, our own tradition. This is what really spell us. So since the government of the day, look at the government of the day, if they are not following, I think the media will also help us a lot. Like what Nigeria Info is doing, I beg to differ. So it's one of those things that when this thing also gets into it, it can also be used as one of those things to be debated on. So definitely this Syrian will make a lot of research down deep to find out this and begin to debate it and make it. So it was just, how can you get an information and you pay to get to have it? Other people describing our agriculture, then will now go to the net, pay, and to look at it, fish it for their own favor. So what the young man is doing, I pray God will help you, the government will see to do to it, and our media will also encourage to eat. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Olaniyan, before I let you go, lastly, has Wikipedia come to stay in Nigeria? Are we going to see more collaborations with states and local governments in telling the Nigerian story?
In the next, this is not what I'm supposed to say in public. The Wikimedia Nigerian will soon be celebrated as a second after South Africa. There is going to be a new chapter that's going to be happening very soon. We're working towards having a chapter which is going to be the second biggest in Africa. When it happens, there's going to be a huge celebration across the globe. So we've been working on this since 2015. And that might happen next week, might happen next month.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So it's a lot of work. We are doing a lot of work right now behind the curtain. So we need the support of
government.
The government. We need support, even individuals, even the media in getting this done. Thank you.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you to my guest, Olaniyan Olushola, who's the president of Wikimedia Nigeria, here talking to us about telling Nigerian stories as Nigerians. Thank you so much for coming, and I'm hoping that you stop by sometime soon.
Thank you very much for having me.
I'm
so glad to be here.
All right. Well, we've got to go on a break, Lagos. When we come back, don't forget, on the other side of the clock, we'll be talking Plateau State. The governor has been told to swear in members of the House of Assembly in Plateau State.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the past year or so, One Play has been putting money in the hands of Nigerians every other day. Now, that has no plans of stopping anytime soon. Definitely not today, because One Play is now up in the take. It is going to be 150,000 naira and over from here on in. Yes, you heard me. Daily winnings are now over 150,000 naira. All you have to do, the process has not changed. Go to www.oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3# from your phone. You can
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.